Over the last few weeks, we've been taking the time to go back through all the old runs that I had missed that were submitted to me for review for the Mythic Plus series we've been doing. I really appreciate everybody who has done that. There have been hundreds, maybe even like up to 1,000 submitted this season. So obviously we missed a lot. That's why we're taking the time to do it. But this is really funny because the person who submitted the run that we're going to see today actually commented saying like, hey, you need to go back to November 15th, find the email I sent you and take a look at that one. It's worth your time. Well, I did. I went to the email and the second I opened it, I knew we were making a video on it. Let's take a look at it. So we are here in a necrotic wake, and we're going to look at something that I have never seen. I've never been submitted, and I have never seen in the wild before. So I'm here asking you guys here today, have you ever seen it in the wild? There's also some crazy stuff. We're going to take a look at the whole key. It's not very long. You might see some crazy stuff unfolding as we talk. This is really interesting to me because we've had a lot of trouble with like getting threat on these initial mobs, but we don't also have the ability to stay mounted and do damage. This makes it a lot easier, I would imagine. And then I love when the character just turns the camera behind them and you just see 3 enemies standing back there. Like, yeah, there's the enemies just like punching the healer. Guess what we got? We got another angel. We got the angel. They are going to have a full wipe to this first pull in the dungeon. No bloodlust used, but it's a very, 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 very messy wipe. As you see, you know, we have those deaths and people are running back. We do this swaggy like 2-foot portal thing. Don't really get why people do. Is that really faster than just walking up there? Anyway, we get back here and we are now in the throes of chaos. Like the healer's back, but the tank's super low. The healer can't recover enough to get the tank back up alive. So we basically have a second wipe to the same pack in one combat instance. Now you've seen that many times before. You may have never seen this. I can't figure this out. I don't know what's actually going on here. Pay attention to the mage. So we see the pack fully reset, 100% health, and then you see it move there. Watch it again. It's very strange, and I don't know exactly what causes this. If anybody knows what causes this, please let me know. But watch the mobs fully reset, and then you see them move here, okay? Now watch this. The guy's up there in combat with these mobs just pops combustion on them. There's nobody there. So he like just opens on this pack. I don't know if he pulled them. I don't know what happened, but they wanted to come back into combat after they reset. So now we are fighting this trash a second time without the tank here. The healer's dead again, and they're gonna have effectively another full wipe to this, but it gets way, way, way worse than that because now we have like people just respawning, and look at the freaking angel again. We got another angel. People are just getting spawn camped now. You see this? They're actually getting spawn camped because whatever happened here, I don't know if the mage aggroed it. I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know what is actually happening here, but now they are just straight up getting spawn camped. So there's a really important call made here, okay? And this is what we're actually reviewing. What we're talking about right now is incidental to the actual point of the review. Paladin and the Warlock both say reset, full reset, reset it. They're talking about resetting the pack, obviously, right? Because they don't want to get farmed. Like there's literally getting spawn camped. It looks like a Warsong Gulch gone wrong or something like that. Actually gonna have more deaths to this. So we're up to 19 deaths from effectively one pull. They reset it. Okay, the mobs are no longer spawn camping their corpses and teabagging them, so now they're ready to continue. So look at the chat. Very, 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 very important. Pay attention to the chat right now. The priest said, wait for them to reset before release. Then he says, okay, it's safe now. The mage says, so I reset now? The warlock says, no, come back inside. We just reset the mobs. Priest says, we're good to come back in. Okay, so anyway, continuing on, we got this poll again here. We see maybe something weird unfolding. We only have 3 people in combat. Again, the chat is notable. We have the mage saying, let's go, doing a ready check. We see a ready check pop up. The evoker in the party, not an Aug. By the way, that's a devastation evoker, also not here. So we have both the mage and the evoker not here. And you were just fighting this pack with 3 people the whole time. Nobody really commenting on it. I guess, you know, they're enthralled in the combat. More chat coming in. Were you expecting lust earlier pull? Evoker says, yeah, my bad. Okay, talking about like strategy stuff, kind of weird. And this comment, say when you're good, Phil. That's the warlock. That's the guy who submitted the key. He said, we are inside. Did you reset the dungeon? The paladin types, is that just 1 dot? Have we ever? That's another first. Another first. 1 dot? Is that 1 dot? Here's what we're actually reviewing. Did you reset the dungeon? The mage's reply, it's a 3 now. Damn it. Warlock says, oops. Priest says, can't do it like that. It messes up the key. Tank says, walk in. Warlock says, they can't. Evoker says, rip, then leaves. Evoker's just gonna leave the party as they're trying to figure this out. That's why you would think he's an Aug, right? That guy's not gonna get held hostage in a 3. So this is a really, really, really confusing confusing part on top of the strangeness of all of this, they say it's a different instance for them now. They're inside the 3. The mage says, does anyone have a 4 to do? The tank just leaves too. I think that's maybe the strangest thing about this is that they're trying to figure this out and everybody just scatters to the wind. Like, I'm only here for the 4, bro. The last comment gets made just as the key's ending. Mage says, what should I have done? I should not have gone out and reset it. Yeah, okay. At least you're figuring that part out. So certainly a first. We have seen something somewhat similar where we had 5 players. Somebody leaves during the countdown and then the person puts the key in anyway. That is definitely one of the strangest things I've ever seen personally, but I've certainly never seen somebody try to reset the dungeon in the middle of it happening because of like a misunderstood call or whatever you want to say about this. And I'm a little confused on what's going on here. So let's talk about this. Let's brainstorm what actually happens here. To my knowledge, when a dungeon run has people in it and you try to reset it, it says you cannot reset it because there's people in it, right? Like that's an error message that I remember seeing as long as the game has had that feature in it. There's another layer here that might add some confusion is the player might look at their key and see that it's a 3 and they think that they did something wrong, right? But that's just what happens when you start the dungeon. You put your 4 necrotic wake in and it goes down to a 3 necrotic wake. The warlock seems to assume that the behavior that happens when you finish the 4 necrotic wake out of time has occurred and it's changed a 3 necrotic wake into a different dungeon, which I don't even know why that exists at this point, but that's how that works. I don't think that's what's happening here, right? Like surely the player still just has a 3 necrotic wake no matter what. A key in their bags is a 3, but that's actually supposed to happen. That's not because they reset the dungeon, right? So we have like 2 things kind of competing, which I'm not even sure the person who submitted this to me fully understood, because like a Mythic Plus maybe has different rules. This is very, very easily testable if anybody wants to confirm this. Just get 2 people, a key that you don't care about, 2 people start the dungeon, 1 person stays in, the group leader leaves, reset the dungeon and try to walk back in and see what the error message says, see what happens if you do it, and see if the other person can continue on with the key. I have no idea what would happen here though, because if they theoretically reset the dungeon and it changed the key, and then those 3 people who are still in there finished the dungeon, what would happen? I don't think it works like this. So I actually think this is even crazier because I think it's all an actual misunderstanding and there's like a disband here for no actual reason. Like the player walked out of the dungeon, saw the dungeon, probably tried to reset the dungeon, maybe didn't see an error message, maybe there is no error message, I don't know. Dungeon's still in progress, right? We got footage of that part. Then they look at their key and be like, oh no, it's a 3, but that's just them being new. They don't know that the key automatically I mean, I don't really know, but this is the strangest thing I think I've ever seen in the low key world because I don't know what actually happened. Like I need footage from this mage's perspective. I need somebody to confirm to me what actually happened here because I am totally taken aback by all of this. But perhaps maybe the strangest strange thing about all this is how everybody just scatters to the wind. Like I don't care anymore. I was only here for the 4 necrotic wake. I need this for score. I'm not doing a 3 under any circumstances. I love how they actually like talking about maybe finding a different 4 to do and somebody even has the 4 but everybody's like no, get the hell out of this group. Mythic Plus Pugging is the gift that keeps on giving and you guys have been Santa Claus. Thank you so much for bringing me all these amazing gifts. If anybody else has any other crazy ones, keep throwing them at me here, but make sure you're staying tuned because the rest of the time until season 2 we're going to be publishing a lot of these. And then also stay tuned for the end of season disband review, which is sure to be a banger coming up maybe like next week or next weekend, sometime like that. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below what you think happened here and if you've ever seen anything remotely similar because I think this is a one-of-one situation. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next one.